Hello and welcome folks to another Modern stream. It doesn't happen often that I randomly go through the 5.0 dumps and I find something that I do deem pretty interesting. So that's what we're going to be doing today. This is a deck list that some people tagged me on, I don't know, in social media somewhere. But this deck was kind of interesting. So obviously there's Reclaimer involved, right? Like you have to pick my interest somehow. Granted, it's fairly easy to pick my interest if you know where to go. Okay, so whoever this person was, they registered Elvish Reclaimer. So that is a very, very easy way to pick my interest. This is of course a Lurrus deck, and it looks pretty similar to the John Saga decks that have been popping up that are playing DRC and Monkeys and Ren and Sixes and stuff like that. But instead of doing that, it's just straight up black-green, and it's playing more like a rock style shell. So we have cards like Bob, Tarmogoyf, and Grimflayer. Really don't know how I feel about the Grimflayer in this deck list. Like, this is the deck list that 5-0'd. I made some changes because I think that there are a couple of, misbuilds here. So Tarmogoyf, Grimflayer, Reclaimer, and Bob are our threat suite. And then we have access to a bunch of removal. We have Abrupt Decay, we have Witherbloom Command, which I thought it was a very, very interesting card. I'm not sure how good this actually will be, but it's certainly interesting to try out, particularly because the target creature get -3/-1 effect seems to be relevant against the vast majority of decks. Also, the gaining life is important against a burn, which has seen a very significant uptick recently. Then we have, like the mill 3 cards, and you can get back your Saga, which is a pretty interesting angle of attack. And then you can blow up, Rest in Peace, or nonsense like that. So it's pretty cool. Maelstrom Pulse as removal, Engineered Explosives as a recurring removal. We can also get a Dark Blast over and over again because you can dredge it. Dark Blast kills a reasonable amount of creatures. I still don't think this card is worth it, but it's interesting. Life from the Loam, which can get back our Sagas, and it can get back Tranquil Thicket and Barrymore. We also have Bojuki Bog, which we can fetch with Reclaimer and Ghost Squatter. Although more often than not, we're just going to be getting a Saga with Reclaimer. So this is the original list. The sideboard also has a couple of clunky cards, like Force of Despair. It's like, what is this doing here? Like, why are we doing this? But I thought it was an interesting enough shell that I wanted to take a look at it, and I made a couple of changes. Number one, the original list had access to a breeding pool, with the only reason of being able to engineer the explosives for free. Now that, I think that's really stupid, and I think that Temple Garden is just strictly better because it can cast Lurrus. So, I understand the idea, and it's it makes sense, but why aren't you just playing Temple Garden, which is just strictly better? So that's one thing. Then I added a couple of Blooming Marsh. I cut the Urborg. I don't really see when I would want to have access to the Urborg. Sure, you have Dothy Voidwalker in the sideboard. That actually makes a good point. You can go turn 1 Urborg, turn 2 Saga, and you can still cast your Dothy on 2. But that seems like a lot worse than just having a card that can cast your Reclaimer on turn 1, which is, I think the original list only had 14 untapped green sources. So having access to a couple more, we're up to 16 now, and these are all untapped black on turn 1 as well, which is very interesting, very important because we have access to Inquisitions and Thought Seizes. So that's definitely something that I want to do. I added another land because if we look at this original list, this is an ETB tap land, this is this doesn't tap for mana, this doesn't tap for mana, this doesn't tap for mana. So this is actually, never mind, also Jugabog is in here. So this is a 17 land deck where Ghost Squatter also doesn't tap for mana, so it's actually a 16 land deck. Both of these don't allow you to cast Reclaimer on 2, and then all 3 of these don't allow you to cast Discard Spell on turn 1. So this mana base just seems terrible to me. So I just went ahead and I made fixed it a little bit. I don't know if that's going to be enough to fix it, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. What else? I cut the Dark Blast. Sure, that's cute, but Fatal Push can kill opposing Tarmogoyfs, which is actually very important right now. I think that Tarmogoyf is actually a very good card. because mostly because of Urza Saga, really, because this is a very, very free, quote unquote, way of growing your goyfs, which is pretty sweet. So Dark Blast is cute. Sure, you have like a recurring way of killing Monke, but like if your opponent has Delirium, you can't even kill a DRC. These kills a DRC whether they have Delirium or not. So like let's just not mess around. You know what I'm saying? Wither Moon Command may be terrible, but I really wanted to try it out, so I'm keeping both copies. Maybe this is a mistake. I did cut the second Maelstrom Pulse in order to make room for the 25th land. In the sideboard, I cut the Force of Despair, and I added a Thoughtseize, and then I think I cut the second Surgical, and I added a Pulse of Murasa. I kind of wanted to try this card. I think it's very cool, and there's been a really, really significant uptick in burn specifically, so that's why I wanted to have access to a card that can gain some life. But yeah, this is going to be the deck list that we're going to be playing right now through a league, so hopefully it's pretty sweet. It definitely looks sweet, so hopefully it actually pays off. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you for round number 1. Alright, round number 1. Now we are part of the problem. Revealing Lurrus turn 0, I guess. Revealing Lurrus. Something tells me those Grim Flayers are going to be horrible, and maybe I should be playing something like Hexdrinker. Well, good thing that I added up to 25 lands, right? This is like the worst hand ever, right? We have 2 of our bullets to get with Saga. Like, yeah, this is awful. It's a lot better. That's a lot better. I'll just ship the Reclaimer. The Grim Flayer. Two mana 4/4 versus 4 mana 4/4. Yeah, but this card sucks though. That's the difference, you know. Like, Hexdrinker has the possibility of, you know, becoming a real threat. This one kind of doesn't. But yeah, common sense. Make sure you just PM me. All right, so we keep this. It's not a great hand, to be fair. I think I'm gonna go turn 1 Reclaimer, turn 2 sack Saga to go get a Black Source, honestly, and then we can loan back the Saga if need be. Like, this is probably gonna be really good against my opponent's Lurrus deck, unless they are exactly Hammer. If they are exactly Hammer or Mill, I guess, yeah, Mill would also be pretty bad. But if they are not Hammer or Mill and they're just like a mid-range Lurrus deck of sorts, then I imagine that Loam plus Saga is gonna be a pretty big deal. So I think I'm just gonna go Reclaimer, play Saga, just sack Saga, and go get a fetch land. And that can make sure that I never ever miss a land drop anymore. See what my opponent's gonna do here. Okay, so they're playing some sort of mid-range deck, which is fine. Also, we have the surprise Bajuka Bog. That's sick. Opponent kept a 1-lander. Okay. Play Saga, say go. I can't really lose this game, right? They're gonna take the Goifo. They take the Thirst. Huh. Okay. They bolt my dude? So you think I'm just getting Bajuka Bog here? Huh. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna play Go if there's really no need for me to loam just yet. Like, this puts my opponent under a lot of pressure. Sure. So now I guess we're gonna start making some constructs. Opponent down to 1 card. Huh. Huh. So we kill this. Is that better than making a construct? So, mill 3 cards and return a land. Kill Monke. And we get back Verdant Catacombs. Now we play this. Get Overgrown Tomb. And we can loam. It's not bad. that's not bad. That is also not bad either. That's also not bad at all either. So here we're gonna make a construct and get Nihil Spellbomb. Yep, that's the line. Thoughtseize me. Ha! Got him. So, don't loam. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all, actually. Get Nihil Spellbomb. Play Saga. Say go. Yeah, let's do this. Just gonna trade. Yeah, I don't really mind my opponent, you know, bolting my cards that were not worth cards for me. This is looking, you know, really good for us. Inquisition first. Yep, get rid of that one. Oh, they're stuck on red mana. That's hilarious. So now I'm gonna push this thing. And I guess play a second Saga. And say go. Seems really hard for my opponent to win this game, right? DRC. Probably gonna put Lurrus in hand. Then we're gonna Inquisition the Lurrus. Make a token. Untap. Make another token. I guess it's way too important to Inquisition the Lurrus here. So I'm just gonna get Shadow Spear. Gonna play this. Inquisition Lurrus. Equip. Gate in there for 4. That was pretty solid. that was yeah. That looked pretty good. Pulse seems kind of cute, but I just can't help it. Pulse of Murasa seems kind of cute, but it just too much to bust up. We can cut the Ghost Quarter. Opponent is playing a bunch of discard spells, so I think I'm fine with a bunch of like drawing the locks and stuff. So I think this is fine. Witherbloom Command looked really good right there. Command looked super good. It drew me a land that I needed, and then it killed my opponent's Monke. That looked super impressive. I think Pulse is probably not great. Kind of interested in a second Explosives. All my cards are just so good though. I'm just gonna cut the flares. There's no unearth in the list, I'm just noticing. Maybe I should have like at least like one unearth in the sideboard. It's interesting. I could just cut the Reclaimers. Cut a Bob. Bob looks kind of great though. Dothy is really strong against that deck though. What to cut? What to cut? I think I'm just gonna cut a Reclaimer. Sure. Skip this. Turn 1 Monke is kind of a disaster, but not much that I can do here. They're drawing Dark Slick Shores. Can we please find land? Please don't flip something good. Please don't flip something good. They flipped the Voidwalker. Fuck, dude. Should I just concede? I think I should just concede. That is so fucked up, man. I hate this monkey so much. I mean, I have to kill the Voidwalker, it's just more damage. I'm super dead though. Wait, did the Voidwalker exile to itself? That's hilarious. I killed my own Void Walker, and it had got exiled to its own ability. That is really funny. So let's bubble myself. And I need to see a fatal push here. There's explosives on top. So I'm just dead. I'm just dead to this monkey. I guess I can play Bob just to trade with the Ragavan. I guess I'm just trading with the Bolt. I'm not even trading with the monkey. But I can't even loam here. And then I'm just gonna die to the Lurrus. It's not looking good. It's not looking good this game. Opponent just went turn 1 monkey and I could never keep up. The JPG with the Prime sub. Thank you so much, JPG. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. Appreciate you coming back for 13 months. That's many a months. It's also many a lands that I have in my deck, but just didn't find any of them. Kinda not feeling the Reclaimers, honestly. Trophy's just so bad. I think I'd rather have Pulse than Trophy. Alright, good hand this time. Can we hit our land drops? We can hit our land drops. Sweet. Keep this. Gonna go turn 1 Marsh, cycle of Ironmore. Opponent also keeps 7. So now we get time walked here. Dashed monkey. Huh. I just realized that these should be marsh flats. These should be marsh flats so I can get Temple Garden. That's my mistake. This should just be marsh flats. I think I'm just gonna play Explosives on 1 and I'm gonna get Saga going. And the good thing here is I just don't really have to do anything. Sure. So I think I'm just cracking this right now, so that I can use my mana to make constructs now instead of, you know, needing to hold for explosives. Now if we draw Reclaimer, it's going to be a 3/4, which is nice. It's a DRC. Push it. It's been pushed. Make a token. Make another token. I assume this is where we're going to see the dress down here. Unfortunately, we can't really keep the chain going. Just going to get Nihil Spellbomb. Gonna attack first. See if we can get in for some damage. For some damage. I do have a lot of cards in hand though. Kind of feel like I want more loans. Let's see what opponent's cooking with. Drown. I could Spellbomb myself. I could Spellbomb myself. That makes Loam a really bad draw now though, which otherwise would be just straight up game winning. It's probably fine. So let's take guess I'm taking the K command. Drown is gonna kill the Goyf, but this is gonna be a 2-for-1. Taking Monke is probably another option. Ugh, they drew Iteration. It's pretty gross if they did. What kind of mouse do I use? Just like this mouse. When I bought my computer, it came with this. I'm not particularly... like, it's not something that I really care too much about. So we're gonna go with this guy first. Well, I guess we can play both. An opponent can't drown them. Croxa. That's so gross. That's like literally their best possible top deck there, I think. That is straight up their best possible top deck. That's just disgusting. I'm gonna lose to the Croxa now. Brutal. So I need to find an answer to Croxa right now. Oh, I should have fetched. There's actually, somehow there's no lands in the graveyard. I missed the point of damage for no reason. I missed out on a point of damage for no reason. This Grixis is just gonna own me. Dude, they just stopped at the Grixis just like that. That's so gross. I think I'm just gonna lose to it now. They should probably exile both bubbles. Make Goyf smaller. They don't. Can't play anything, can't do anything, just gotta say go. And hope that my opponent can't kill my Lurrus. If they can't kill my Lurrus, maybe I have a shot. Because I'm just gonna double block with Goyfs. So if they can't kill my Lurrus, maybe I can win this game. And I need to, I mean, I guess I still need to find an answer to the Grixis. Misdirected Reclaimer is just a find Saga kind of deal with the Flagstones. I mean, I just stole this deck list from the 5.0 dump. Like, I didn't really... I made some changes, but the original idea was just stolen from the 5.0 list. I mean, I don't have good attacks. So what can my opponent draw here? They're super far away from making this into a threat, so they can just play Lurrus. So I think I just have to pass the turn. And discard the Goyf to the Grixis. Just so I don't go down to 2. The good thing is my opponent doesn't... I guess they could have an answer to this. They would have needed to top deck exactly drawing the lock number 3. But I probably just can't beat that card anyways. So I'm just making the plays that I can. And again, this cannot die, right? If at any point this dies, I'm just toast. But now I can start attacking. Would have been awesome if that would have been a real card. So I attack. I can also send with... I actually can't send with Lurrus, never mind. I'm gonna send with Lurrus next turn, I think. That gets in there for 5. Their last card in hand is a Lurrus. And that's game. Probably. Wait, they didn't want to draw that? Oh, they can't, because they actually target themselves. So they're just being in everything there. I'm just dead to the DRCs. Never mind. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Yikes. I feel like we got very unlucky that game. Yeah, that would have been really good. Yeah. Just feel like we got pretty unlucky. Anyway, that was cool though. That was a good first match to showcase the power of the deck. Let's see next round. Look at that, we're playing against another Lurrus deck. Skip this. Say go. Bloodchief's Thirst looking really bad, if I'm being honest. Bloodchief's Thirst looking really, really bad. No blocks. Take 11, I guess. I would not like to pay 11, thank you. I think I have to Thoughtseize here, because otherwise I just die to another hammer. Yeah. Now the question is, do I play Saga? I don't think I play Saga because there's nothing that I can really get that does anything. Do you imagine my opponent is just going to play Stoneforge here? I really need to draw a Fatal Push. So we're just gonna play the Goyf and represent removal that we don't have. Yep. And we have to do this because otherwise if I tap out, my opponent just activates Nexus and then it just kills me with the hammer. So just gotta represent that we have something, which we don't, but pretty good top decks for RP. Pretty good top decks. They're just going for it. Just not playing around shit. Oh, they are playing around shit. Okay. Taking 5. Something? Still nothing, huh? Still nothing. Just gotta pass the turn again. Come on, Bob. Hook me up here. Hook me up here, Bob. Give me some good stuff. Give me some good stuff. Engineered explosives 1 time. Cream Flare. Not as good. Definitely getting Shadow Spear there because Shadow Spear allows me to attack and gain a little bit of life. So they can make just a 5/5 token, which would trade with mine. So this is fine. If opponent wants to trade, I'm okay with this. And I really need the life. My opponent can make some big attacks if they want to next turn. But yeah, they're just not great attacks. They're big attacks, but they're not good. Uh-oh, they made mana. Those are some pretty good draws. So their hand is Cigar the Sade, Colossus Hammer. They send everything. And there's no way we can block this. Because if I push here, they hammer here, and then yeah, we're just dead. Sealer Primordium, explosives, this thing. Cut this out, Thoughtseizes. Holy crap, is Green Flayer bad, man. Green Flayer is just awfully bad. I don't think this card is very good. Pulse could be good. Biting Needle maybe is good. Probably better than Nihil Spellbomb. Thirst. Yeah. I'm gonna keep the rest. Witherbloom Command is actually kind of neat. Just being able to blow up Cigar the Sade and stuff. We can like kill an Esper Sentinel and we can get some extra value. It's not bad. Don't really love Reclaimers in this kind of matchup. As we just saw, like usually you're just super mana hungry. So, you know, taking the turn off to Reclaimer, probably not a very good idea. Oh, not a possible idea. Sure. Let's keep this. I think I'm just gonna go turn one this tapped. We don't know what we're gonna needle just yet. Very likely we're just gonna needle hammer. But we don't really know just yet. Fetch Overgrown Tomb. Am I just playing the Goyf here? I think I'm just playing a Goyf. Next turn I can play Sealer Primordium. My Goyf just grows a lot. If I seal the Thopter, I get Artifact, Creature, and Enchantment. My Goyf immediately becomes a 4/5. It's not bad. Would love to draw a land. If I can double spell this coming turn, I'm gonna feel pretty comfortable. What's up, Clock Decay? Looking forward to buy a right symbol. What would you recommend? Looking for a jazz soulless sound. What's your budget, Ilo Parto? That's the most important question. Without knowing what your budget is, I can't really make accurate. 300, 400 euros. Okay, so you have some pretty good budget. Personally, my favorites for a while, has been I have a Selgian Constantinople, which has been like absolutely delightful. So I don't think plating matters too much. But I really want to blow something up with this. So I guess we can needle ink moth nexus. Though that probably doesn't really matter. I just don't want to use the Seal of Primordium. I think I'm just gonna go play Seal of Primordium, and I'm just gonna thirst this Stoneforge Mystic. What are we talking about? Just checked in when the pause started in my football match. What do you mean? What are we talking about? Right symbols. For drums. Path. Okay. It's pretty good for me. Pretty good for me. I'm not gonna complain about that. If opponent goes for the plating line, I just take 2. 3, I guess. And then I can Witherbloom command. And I can kill the plating. Huh. We actually have no answer to Lurrus somehow. Never mind. And this enables my Lurrus. So we're gonna put this, I think, on Ink Moth Nexus. Ink Moth Nexus. And I don't think I can die here, so I'm just gonna put Lurrus in my hand. So now the seal enables Lurrus. Enables the push, sorry. So we're gonna destroy non-creature, non-land with mana value 2 or less. And I'm gonna mill 3 and get back a land. Can we find a Saga, please? Would be awesome to find a Saga. Baron Moore. Okay, that's a redraw. And now we're gonna Seal of Primordium, Ornithopter, and we're gonna push the Lurrus. Unfortunate that we have to do this all right now. So now we are dead to like Aid into double Colossus Hammer. So that part sucks. Plating is fine. Oh, that's fine. Loam is a very interesting draw. So I can Loam, get back 3 lands. My opponent gets to draw a card. I think it's just better to Lurrus. Lurrus and get back Seal. Opponent does get to draw a card, which sucks, but small price to pay. So now they don't have attacks. One is very cool. I've also, yeah, Istanbul symbols are pretty good too, for sure. Ugh. Damn it, that really sucks. Kind of needed that guy to not die, you know. Opponent goes up to 5 cards. I think I want to blow up the Esper Sentinel. And then I can just explosives for 2. I guess I shouldn't have gotten this back, because this doesn't get anything. Actually, that's not true. This gets Temple Garden. Never mind. So that's fine. So play that. 1, 2. Engineered explosives. Ugh. I really want to play Bob this turn, so I'm gonna have to do this. My opponent's gonna get to blow up my Biting Needle. But I think it's pretty important for me to play Bob now, so I can get that roll in. So if they have Cigar the Sade, I'm dead. I'm dead to exactly Cigar the Sade. I think I'm not dead to Paladin, unless my opponent has a bunch of zeros that they've been sandbagging. But if they got Cigar the Sade, we know that they have... what's his name, so... 1 poison. So still dead to what's his name? To Cigar the Sade, but now I'm also dead to Pure Steel Paladin plus land. Greatness at any cost. So, dead to Paladin plus land, dead to Cigar the Sade. Sure. Goif and a land. Just get both of those. Cycle Barrymore. Damn it. So now we can die to the Ornithopter, and we can die to our Bob triggers. We do have lethal though. We do have lethal. They can move Shadow Spear over. All right, what do we get? 0. Let's go. Maelstrom Pulse. That was that was close. That was very close. Silent Clearing on top. So we just pulse this thing. Get in there. Whoo! Greatness at any cost, baby. Any cost whatsoever. That was very funny. Good old Double Bob. Good old Double Bob. Am I supposed to bring in Pulse? Am I supposed to bring in Pulse of Murasa? Kind of just to offset Bob, if I'm being honest. Levi Bashning with a follow. Greatest card ever printed. It's a pretty good one. It's particularly good in this kind of matchup. But on the draw, I imagine my opponent's going to be a little bit more aggressive. Good afternoon, Fran. I've been peeking at your Discord and saw somebody mention splashing blue in lands for some cards for the Rhinos matchup. What are your thoughts on that? I think the Rhinos matchup is actually pretty good. So if you're... I think that the person in the Discord wanted to splash for the Teferi. I'm not particularly afraid of the Rhinos matchup, though. Like, it's one of the points of playing the deck. That it's good against the meta decks. That's what the deck is built for. But yeah, I mean, if you feel like the fairy, I think that it's better to justify it as being a good play against counterspell decks, which I do think it's true. I wonder if my opponent's gonna go for lethal. They don't. If I push Sentinel now, opponent draws their card, and that's fine. But then I can untap and play Seal of Primordium, which probably means that I can't lose from this position. We do have a bunch of removal available to us. Been playing your BTL shift list and it's shed on Rhinos a couple of times. The Fairies just seems so good in conjunction with Chalice. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Teferi is a hell of a card. Great draw. Yep, that's a pretty good draw. I'll take that one. That's the one that I will take. There we go. Just play a ghost quarter here. Say go. Ghost quarter. This game's looking pretty good. This game's looking pretty good, I think. Stoneforge Mystic. So I kind of want to use these Maelstrom Poles. We do have perfect information about what my opponent's doing over there. So I guess what I can do is play Engineered Explosives for 0. We can play Explosives for 0, kill my opponent's 0s. Play this for 0. We kill their Memnite and Ornithopter. I think I'm just gonna play this tapped and say go, actually. Because explosives can actually take out the Pure Steel Paladin. Like, we have a couple of turns to take 1 point of damage, right? Or like 2 points of damage, I guess. Yeah, changing data to Jeskai Triumph and Splash Timur Triumph and 1 more blue source. Seeds Hot, 3 blue sources plus Triad. Gonna get lucky, but 10 fetches plus Ren. Yeah, for sure it's reasonable. I'm not saying that it's a crazy idea or anything. Like, it's actually makes sense. It's not crazy at all. But something has to give, right? Seal of Cleansing. Play Saga. Say go. I think my opponent's just gonna cleanse the Saga, which is fine. Maelstrom Pulse is looking so awkward. Pure Steel Paladin. No blocks. Take 2. Cool. So now I'm just gonna explosives on 2. Found a blast zone without Reclaimer has lost value and consider changing blast zone. What would you jam in that slot? Another basic. I've been looking to like play another a basic mountain, which could be fine, really. So I think I'm going to crack right now, and I'm not gonna crack Seal of Primordium because I'm going to wait for my opponent to crack their Seal of Cleansing. And if they don't crack it, then I don't have the need to crack the Seal of Primordium. I know my seal goes, I know. But my opponent is going to be forced into doing something here, right? And now I can do... Memnite. Attempt to kill the Memnite. Yes. Opponent's gonna hammer in response, probably suiting up the Ornithopter. I doubt that they're gonna suit up the Ink Moth because we have the Ghost Quarter here. But then if they don't suit up the Ink Moth, what we can do is we can just get the Biting Needle off of the Saga and name Ink Moth, and now they're stuck, right? The moths just don't do anything. So now my opponent's probably going to suit up the Ornithopter. But if they do... So now they have to flash in Colossus Hammers, otherwise they don't draw a card. Well, that's a hammer. We knew about that one. They're suiting up Ornithopter. The 2s die. We pass. So if the Shelter Thicket for Mountain, it has felt fine. I could see changing Blast Zone for Thicket again. I mean, you can go get another Colored Source too. You have many ways to go about it. So out of the 4 cards in their hand, we only know about 1. This game has been super intricate, super interesting. So now they do go for attacks, and I'm not going to do anything if my opponent is not % lethal. I'm willing to go down to 3. Which I guess we do. We can recoup the life with either Lurrus or Saga tokens, but this Ghost Quarter is a great insurance against the Ink Moths. So I could have Ghost Quarter myself and trophied this thing, but don't think that's really worth it. Another Thopter. Steel Shaper's Gift. Well, this is very good for us. So now what we do is we Maelstrom Pulse both Ornithopters. And we're kind of looking really good, right? So, float mana. Get Peating Needle. I'm gonna name Ink Moth Nexus. Green, black. Maelstrom Pulse, both Ornithopters. I should have targeted this one actually, because their last card may be Path to Exile and they path themselves, and that's a disaster. So that happens. They have Colossus Hammer in hand. Do I care about... I think we're just gonna do this. Pass the turn. I think the token doesn't matter as much as the life from going down to 1. It's a really good top deck. It's a really, really good top deck for them. You don't have it though. Okay, so going to make a dude. Going to find Shadow Spear. Just gonna pass the turn here. Hold up trophy for the Pure Steel Paladin. Now the question is, am I activating Reclaimer on end step or not? I think I'm just trophying the Paladin. Stoneforge. Making sure my opponent can't draw a card there. Gonna get to suit up this with Shadow Spear. Which is not great, but could be worse. You're drawing Ornithopter. Pretty sure. Wow. Okay. I mean, I'll take the hammer. You're drawing Ornithopter, which is kind of a dead draw. So I can gain 4 life and then equip this thing to chomp block and survive. And we lose to... I guess I could draw a Fatal Push. Am I gonna lose this game? Kind of feels like I'm gonna lose this game. So that's gonna be 12. I'm gonna gain 4 here. Then I'm gonna take 8 next turn. Like, this is just kind of feels like a forced play. And I'd rather chump with the token than with the Reclaimer. So attack here. We know they're drawing Ornithopter. Whip here so we don't lose. Pass the turn. Draw Saga, which doesn't really do anything. I mean, we have 1 draw step. Yikes. Oh, they're setting up lethal for next turn. That's what my opponent's doing here. Cycle Byron more. We need to find a removal spell right now. That's not a removal spell. So I guess we have to attack. Attacking doesn't even do it because I lose 2 Xaxes. I lose 2 Xaxes. Nick Spears with a tier 1 sub. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, Nick. Is still not on Hammer? No, it's on Inkmoth Nexus. That doesn't matter. My opponent has a Cigar the Sade. Biting Needle does not affect Cigar the Sade. Oh, they have Cigar the Sade. I'm an idiot. For a second, I thought that this was the other card, the one that draws. Oh, we're in a lot better shape than I thought we were. Okay, like I'm just stupid. I thought that this was Steel Shaper's gift. Yeah, I confused both of these. No, this is fine. I think we're fine. Audio stuff from last night where Fluffy Rivers kept timing you out. That's funny. It's now a meme. It's now a meme that Evan just times me out. So I'm dead to... Probably should have attacked with Reclaimer as well. I am dead to, what's his name? To Hammer or Spell Shaper's Gift off the top, but I beat everything else, I think. I guess it could also be Stoneforge. But we beat everything else. I guess that Dude also is a bad draw for us. Pure Steel Paladin is also bad for us. Third Springleaf Drum, not gonna do it for my opponent. That is not gonna do it for my opponent. So pay 3. I think I'm just blowing up all at once, right? And this just locks it up. We just play explosives for 1 and now we can't lose. Yeah. Woo! Crazy game. Crazy game. Down to the wire. Down to the very last stop there, but we managed to come out on top. Alright. See you next round. Alright, I'm pretty sure I clicked on my companion once, but Moto took it as twice, so I guess we don't have a Lurrus. That sucks. That sucks. I think I'm keeping this hand regardless, though. You ever fuck with Knight of the Reliquary in your Reclaimer deck since Urza Saga came out? I imagine you probably did. Yes, I did, and it wasn't very good. At least I didn't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chill on this bubble, and I'm just going to bubble on my opponent's Sense Step, because I'm going to be Thought Seizing next turn, most likely. And when I do, that gives me the most info. I guess that it doesn't because they played a fetch, but they have a Shark Typhoon. That's probably really bad news for us. Spreading Seas. That's gonna be like the best Spreading Seas of all time, kind of. Unless they don't have... I guess they could just Spreading Seas this thing. Black Source off the top one time. Is it happening? It's really, really sad that we just failed to reveal a companion in the matchup where it literally matters the most. Like, this is the kind of matchup where like Lurrus is gonna be at its best. And just Moto got me good. Easy game. Just watch my opponent top deck a Wrath next turn. Alright, real talk here. Well, I guess this is gonna show me what they drew. Never mind. Do we play around? I think I'm not. How am I gonna play around? I think I just have to dodge Verdict this one turn. The problem is if my opponent has spot removal for the Bob, then we're not really that far ahead. So I think I'm just gonna have to hope to dodge Verdict off the top. Dude. Dude, just... Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Come on, man. Alright. We're done here. This game is over. Good job, opponent. Very, very smart of you. Very, very smart of my opponent to top deck the only card that mattered right there. Really good play from them. What a fucking joke, man. What a fucking joke. I still think that my play was the right play, right? Giving my opponent exactly 2 turns to top deck exactly Supreme Verdict. And if I untap, I just win. But they have probably like 2 verdicts in the entire deck. Probability was on our side, fate wasn't. That's a beautiful, beautiful sentence. Of course, they have the turn 1 prismatic ending. Dude, this opponent is the best control player I've ever seen. Best control player I've ever seen. Rest in peace. Best control player I've ever seen. The best one. There has never been a better control player in the history of the game. Well, I mean, I think we just chill here because, like, cracking this doesn't draw me a card. And I'm just gonna make some Saga tokens. But my opponent's missing land drops, I'm not gonna trophy them, right? Not gonna trophy while they're missing land drops. And I know they have the Fairy Time Raveler, so I'm just gonna needle name into Fairy Time Raveler. Technically, they could have Snapcaster, so I'm not gonna attack with the Goyfs. Celestial Purge. So this doesn't do anything, so I'm just gonna take the only card that does something. But they have off. So I guess I don't need to play Goyf here. Because I have lethal. This is a pretty fucking good Fact or Fiction, man. This is a pretty fucking good Fact or Fiction. Oof, how are we supposed to split this? I don't want to put the Solitude with the land, that's for sure. That's the only thing that I know for certain. If they go... If I do this... They can just Time Leap plus hold up counterspell, so that's bad. So I think we just do this. So it's the only way that their mana can be awkward. Yeah, so I think that this is the split. Because it's the only way that my opponent cannot double spell. So they're just gonna get Time Leap plus Archmage's Charm. But this at least allows me to trophy the Rest in Peace and make the Goyfs into big boys. They took Solitude counterspell. Very interesting. They just know that they're gonna draw the land. They're that good. Second Rest in Peace. Well, that's pretty bad for us. Can we draw another Saga? Oh, damn it. I should have just gotten this card. That was bad. That was really bad. I'm just tilted. I'm just tilted and I'm an idiot. Play the fairy. That's a sick top deck. All right, can we get away with this? Can we do this? Yes. Yes, we can do this. Get that counter spell. Maelstrom pulls that shit. Boom. Sorcery into the bin. Attack you for lethal. Spellbomb you. Woo! Got him. Maybe this card is actually fine. I guess at least I won't decay. And like green flares are at least 2/2s. As opposed to go if. I don't think I want explosives. Pushes suck. Discard spells are great. Void Walker. Yeah, this is fine. Maybe I won't command. Nah, command's bad. Wow, I can't believe we won that game. Sure. I think I'm gonna go turn 1 Reclaimer. Oh wow. Well, now I'm gonna go turn 1 Inquisition because I may be able to get a card from them. Take Spreading Seas because they kept a 2-lander. They just drew another Spreading Seas. They drew Rest in Peace. Thoughtseize Bug. They drew in Plains. Of course, of course. Do you know why a Surge control is more appropriate than an Esper these days with Surge Esper removal like ending? I would like having a Fatal Push. The Dash Monkey will be useful. Because it has better mana and because I don't know, people like it more. That's a lot. We'll take the Rest in Peace, I guess. With the Loam in hand, the Rest in Peace is actually going to be a lot of card advantage. Opponent immediately finds the land for the FOF. What if I want to choose nothing with this Bajuka Bog? Can't I just choose nothing? Dude, FOF is fucked up. I think I'm gonna do this because Rest in Peace just gets rid of my, yeah, it gets rid of my Loam engine. Which we may be able to answer the rip later on, but they're probably gonna Teferi here. Yep. They still have the Verdict. It's not looking good. Oof. Well, we'll probably have to save that one for the big boy. The good thing is that Reclaimer kind of forces their hand a little bit, because otherwise he just goes get Saga. It's big Tiff. Would love to draw like a Thoughtseize or something like that. They drew the counter spell. Of course, of course. Looking for Urza Saga here. It's rough. Guess I should have cycled first. Probably gonna get buried by these. It's the fairy. So I have. We can find. What can we find? Yeah, the Grim Flayers are just awful. What is just getting aggro? I don't like that at all. Does their hand suck that much? Let's go get Ghost Quarter. That covers the Colonnade. Let me untap with Reclaimer again. Yeah, that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. Unfortunate. Alright, alright, alright. Yeah, this hand looks great, so I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep the hand that looks great. And let's go with fetch land. And we're gonna see what my opponent does here. White. Okay. Do I want Green Flare? I don't think I do. I basically never ever want Green Flare. If you're ever wondering whether I want Green Flare or not, the answer is more than likely not. So we're gonna go Goifo. Very weird. My opponent did not reveal Lurrus. I wonder if they're playing a version that's like jamming batter skulls and stuff. Titania is criminally underplayed. The cards was great to add to modern. Such a good Grand Exposed card. Yep, it is. It is. It's great. But it asks for a very specific deck, right? That's why kind of the only shell that it's ever been in, it's, you know, my Nihilands deck. It's not Tarmogoyf, right? Like you need a very specific deck to play the card. Opponent really carefully playing out this turn. Or by carefully, I mean slowly. Take your time, opponent. You must have so many options. You must have so many options. Oh, Paradise Mantle. I guess that's a card. That is also a card. So they're playing like a meme version of the good deck. I think I just want to take the boots here instead of the gift, because the boots could potentially be an issue down the line. Although I guess not really, because we can just blow it up with a Bloom command. I mean, the thing is that, is it really a budget version though? Like, is cutting Lurrus really considered budget? Like, it's really the card Lurrus, the one that is that is you know, that you can't afford. Is this the card that you can't afford? I imagine that they just misclicked, which is what I did game one, in the previous match, game one. Because honestly, it's the only thing that makes sense. Sure, this cannot tap for mana right now though. I'm gonna cycle Baron Morn instead. I don't want to Fatal Push. I really want to hold this so I can potentially kill an Inkmoth Nexus or whatever. No attacks. We do have perfect information. Play Nettle Cyst over Lurrus. Seems like not a great deal. So we're gonna do -3, -1. Blow that up, kill that. Now we're gonna serve. If they draw Cigar the Sade, they're still a mana off, so I'm just gonna play Shadow Spear this turn, which allows me to equip it next turn. Because even if they find exactly Cigar the Sade off the top, they can't kill me with the Inkmoth, because that would require 1 mana to Cigar the Sade, 1 mana to steal Shaper's Gift, and 1 mana to activate Inkmoth, and then 1 more mana. So the fact that they equip the Mantle to the Memnite means that I don't really care about this. Alright, that's a good draw. So I'm going to have to push that now. They can gift for Paradise Mantle right now, and they should. A gift for Colossus Hammer, sorry. And they definitely should do it. Opponent super punished for equipping the Memnite last turn instead of the Stoneforge. They can't equip the hammer here unless they find a 0 off of this draw. At this point, I'm just sure that my opponent just misclicked or something. So push that thing. And do I equip? I think I do want to equip, and the reason for this is that it's a 2-turn clock, so I can force a chump next turn. Sure, if my opponent top decks exactly another Pure Steel Paladin, we actually lose here to the Inkmoth. But c'est la vie, I guess. I think that I need to make it so my opponent has the least amount of draw steps possible. It's not a Paladin. It's also not a Paladin. And now they don't know it, but they actually have to double block. Because whatever they block with, I can just decay. And this tramples. Or they can just do that. Okay. Yeah, that's also fine. Now the question is, do I play second Goyf? Or do I play around second Pure Steel Paladin? If my opponent top decks exactly Pure Steel Paladin, what happens? They play it. They equip Colossus Hammer here. No, actually I get to decay this. So yeah, this is fine. Because if they top deck Paladin, I just decay the hammer, and then the Paladin just doesn't do anything. And they're dead to the Goyf next turn. So that seems better to me. Really wasn't expecting a Tarmogoyf when I opened this stream. I am full of surprises, Cola Cacao. I am full of surprises. Expect the unexpected. And this just doesn't matter how they block. I'm just gonna decay the Stoneforge and trample for lethal. That's fine. Abrupt Decay, Stoneforge, Mystic. Make sure they don't draw cards. Because maybe they're playing like main deck, Path to Exile or something, I don't know. So that just means that they're dead. Would like to trample for lethal, please. Thank you. Awesome. This card is just heinous, man. I'm so sad that it's in my deck. I am so sad that that card is in my deck right now. Is this worth it? Probably need to have trophy over that. Okay. Peak modern deck building. Good old Dream Flare. They just don't have Lurrus, huh? This seems like a fine hand, but I think it's probably a trap. I think that I really need some early interaction in this matchup. It's not the best draw ever, but it's probably okay. Really gotta draw some lands here. It's pretty rough. That's a really good Esper Sentinel. I don't think I can afford for my opponent to draw a million cards here. Just gonna have to get lucky. Oh boy, is this bad. Just getting owned by this Esper Sentinel. Holy shit. This card is unbeatable right now. This card is just absolutely gross right now. At least they don't have the dude. I mean, I just have to do this. And they're just gonna draw a card. And it's just... Ugh, so bad for me. So bad for me. Also, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited, and I should have cracked bubble on their end step. I missed out on some free info. Missed out on some free info. Sanctifier and Beck. Don't think I care about that guy too much. This I care about a little bit more. Second Saga is pretty brutal. Second Saga is indeed pretty brutal, but they tap for mana? Why would they tap for mana? Well, I'm terrified now. Well, I guess they just fucked up. They wanted to make a token and they just fucked up. I'm planning on playing these explosives for one, so this seems just fine. Just chomp with Reclaimer. Well, that's good for me. So, play Goif. Play tapped land. Say go. So we're gonna blow up all of these one drops. The thing is, do we want to do this now? Spell Pierce. I mean, I'm not using the mana for anything else, so I guess that will need to do. Spell Pierce? And they brought that against me? I'm assuming they're gonna find Piety Needle off of this. Not gonna fetch, because if they want to needle my Bloodstained Mire, it's probably pretty good for me. They can just hammer Inkmoth and kill me. That's not quite how that works. Not when I have a blocker. They could have drawn a removal for the Goyf. And I'm gonna have to chump block. So maybe I am dead. Oh no, I actually have they have 2 attackers, my bad. Oh, they can just keep his flying again. Yeah, you're right. Alright. Got me. You are certainly right. Dude, that turn 1 Esper Sentinel, holy shit. I got real good. I got real good. So I can't fetch. Can't fetch here, so I think I'm just gonna go turn 1 Blooming Marsh. Also should have probably cut Bojuki Bog from my deck. Forgot about that. Forgot about Bojuka. I'm just gonna crack on the end step. Oh, they moved to 5. Dude, Esper Sentinel again. Gross. They're drawing Stoneforge. It's not bad. One, 2 tribal. Let's go. 1, 2 tribal. Let's go. Cigar the Satyr. Right now I'm kind of scared. Interesting. Let's do that. And I think I'm going to continue using my mana, so I'm just going to play Bojuki Bog here instead of playing Saga. It's not like Saga can go get something I care about. Even if they have Hammer here, I can just, you know, block 1 and 1. They trade with one of me and the other one chump block, so that's fine. Okay. And now we just want Bob to deliver a never-ending stream of removal. Surprise Sentinel doesn't see more play. I think it's only 3 ticks. Bye then. To the moon. Why am I so stupid? Why would I ever tap my mana like that? Why would I leave myself dead to a land drop? I'm like, can I use the mana from yeah, I can do it. I'm just dead now. I'm an idiot. Like, I had this covered. Like, I'm like, I can play this Saga this turn because I can go Goyf and I can hold up trophy for the Inkmoth. Oh man, I'm so stupid. I should have won this game so easily, and I'm just gonna lose because it's getting worse for my opponent, so they should definitely go for it. Man, streaming is hard sometimes. Streaming is hard sometimes. Like a lot of things just going through my mind, and then when I actually go ahead and click on this stuff. No, they do it on combat. They have Sigarda say it. I'm dead. Like if my opponent sees it, yeah. If my opponent goes for it, I'm dead. There's nothing I can do. I am bluffing like push or something, which they did see game one, but like I have a Bob going, right? Like they should definitely go for it. They didn't. Okay, sweet. We got super lucky. Definitely got super lucky there. Don't get me wrong, this is awful for us still, but it's a little bit less bad because, you know, being dead is better than, you know, not being dead. Not being dead is better than being dead. That's what I'm trying to say. So I think this is fine. My opponent's gonna get to draw a card, but I think that's okay. That was so bad. That was truly awful. So we don't really have too much going on here. I could find a fetch, so now when I do play Ghost Squatter, Explosives is my best draw. We did find a bush, okay. Play that. So I'm pushing there. Opponent draws a card. Play bubble. Bubble myself. Seal of Primordium on top. Yeah, I kind of really want to draw that one. So draw step. Maybe I shouldn't have draw step there. I guess I can just pass here. And if my opponent attacks, I just blow up the hammer instead of killing the pure steel. Chaos Draft is returning to MTG. Are you a fan? No, not really. I think Chaos Draft is just strictly worse cube, right? Because cube is actually curated. Cube is actually, you know, the cards, there's like archetypes going on, and you know the cards matter and stuff like that. So while Chaos Draft is just like, well, I mean, I guess things work out here, and that's kind of it. Well, good thing I held on to my trophy, because I would have gotten super blown out. So that's my opponent's last card, which is fine. Doesn't really do anything here. Just gonna upgrade this swamp into Blooming Marsh. Tap. And now Maelstrom Pulse was revealed. So what I can do is, with this trigger on the stack, I can sack this to go get another Saga, which I think is what I want to do. Now we're gonna probably needle. Naming Colossus Hammer. This makes the 2/2 dude not a good draw for them. Play Sealer Primordium. We already don't really care about Inkmoth because we have both Ghost Quarter and Sealer Primordium going. Now my opponent doesn't have good attacks. Their cards don't do anything. I think we're in good shape. And we can start accruing value from the Saga. I think we got this one locked up. I don't think we even need to draw a Titan. Titan could be a good draw though. It would be a surprising draw, let me tell you that. Even Black-Green Sword doesn't do anything. This is just locked up. Like, my opponent not going for it on the turn where they could is going to mean that I'm going to win this. I mean, not that my opponent knew, you know? Like, I just tapped out very confidently. So, maybe I was able to sell it better than I think I did. Urza Saga. I guess we can serve. Oh, let's start attacking next turn. We got push. We got next turn. We can have Lurrus going on. The game is over. Opponent has so many mana producing dudes. I wonder if they think that they can still win here. That's what I was gonna get. Damn it. So I can activate Saga this turn. And activate Reclaimer. So I think that's what I'm doing. Okay. I'm just gonna play this and activate Saga out instead. Again, I don't think we can lose. Is that a green-white line on the battlefield for opponent? No, blue-white. My opponent showed me Spell Pierce on game 2. I'm assuming they have stuff like Lavinia for like the Living End matchup and whatnot. I'm assuming that's what the splash is for. But I'm not certain. I guess that the fact that they have more stuff would explain why they have so much mana. They have 2 colors, so that's why they have Paralyzed Mantle and so many Springleaf Drums. Alright, sweet. That game was a lot closer than it should have been. Should have won by a landslide, but anyway. We won anyway. See you last round. Last round. Going for the John 5-0. And greeted by the John D-est of hands. Yes, I'll keep. If I don't keep this, what am I even doing? I remember when Greenflayer was super expensive, remember? Those were the times. Simpler times. Let's take that one. Let's take that one. The one that kills me. That one. That's a nice one to have in this matchup. Dude, Greenflayer was a standard staple. And I think, didn't Reduke just top 8 a Pro Tour with Greenflayer? Didn't Reduke just top deck a fucking Pro Tour with Greenflayer? They go get Imperial Rights. You love to see it. But he top 8 something with like no, in Modern. I think that the PT that he top 8'd, I think that he was definitely playing Absan. And I think that he had green flares in his deck. Temple Garden on top. I don't think we want Temple Garden. I mean, we do have to put on some pressure because, you know, they're going to be able to hardcast this guy eventually. Love that top deck. Love that top deck. Yep. Take that one. Play this thing. They drew another Smallpox. What's up, House? How you doing? Okay. So we got perfect info. And they just 2-for-1 themselves. So now I think I'm not supposed to crack this. What happens if I crack this? They have persist in hand. Yeah, I think we just pass. Because if they find a Mark Grave off the top, then I'm kind of fucked. So at least I'm gonna get a time walk out of the deal. Oh, crack it and replay with Lurrus. That was the line. 100% Unholy Sieve. That was definitely the line. Dude, this card is fucked up. This card is fucked up. Holy crap. I forgot you can even do that. Surgical seems good. Voidwalker seems good. I don't think I'm leaving the Torpor Orb life. Seal of Murasa is the most hilarious hate card ever, right? We have Reclaimer Bog too. Hell yeah. I mean, I guess the good thing about playing Green Flare in your deck is the fact that you have some very easy cuts on every single match. That is definitely some upside. This Temple Garden is extremely sketch. It's there to play explosives for 3. Is it great? I don't know. I just copied the deck list. In fact, the original deck list had fucking... the original deck list had a Breeding Pool, which made no sense at all. So I did the change towards, you know, making it Temple Garden. Probably supposed to be an Absent Triumph, right? Not necessarily. So now that we drew that, we can actually bubble ourselves, which is better. There's a bubble on top. Do we want to draw another bubble? Do we have time to draw another bubble? I think I'd rather keep the bubble in the deck for... what's his name? So... am I just getting the tutor here? I mean, if they do find a way to put a duty in the bin, I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. Priest of Fell Rights. I'll spell them. Surgical. No. Nothing. Well, they have infinite of this effect, so I'm just gonna take... am I just taking Kaya's Guile? I think I'm just taking Kaya's Guile. The second they can discard their dude, we're pretty dead to it. But... and next turn I'm just jamming Lurrus, so we can start getting bubble back. Yeah, let's actually do this. And I know that this makes Reclaimer smaller, but having more cards in hand so I can discard is not terrible. But this is Bojuka Bog at instant speed, so... yeah. It's pretty fucking good. It's pretty fucking good, let me tell you. You want to exile this. Yep, there we go. They figure it out. So now they're gonna exile my Loam and my Bubble, which is just terrible. Dude, they have Kaya. That's literally the best possible card they could have had. Best possible card they could have had. The guy who followed the prelim with basic land, specifically Forest Mountain Plains, is named Blue Black on Goldfish. Nice. Apparently they did like a they did an announcement, and it's like, because people are not signing up for like Pauper and Standard prelims, we're just gonna stop them. So instead of fixing their fucking formats, they're just like they're just taking them off of the rotation. Like, that's just so stupid, man. It really blows my mind how Like, the way that they handle some things. Oh, come on, dude. I'm gonna make a token. Yeah, they're gonna do a BNR for Popper. But I just find it very funny that, you know, today they made that announcement. So I'm probably gonna have to needle Kaya here. I'm probably still gonna attack Kaya though. Where's my needle? Oh, it's in my sideboard? Well, that's funny. Let's get Shadow Spear then. So now my opponent can chomp with the Priest. And now we're gonna fetch for a basic Swamp. And get the Prismatic Ending. You have Smallpox. Do we take the Smallpox or the ending? So they minus here. The thing is that Smallpox is actually good for them. So I think I'm just... yeah. Just gonna take Smallpox. Because if they find a card, they actually get to discard. So now they're gonna be able to ending this and exile the other one. Which kind of sucks for me. But at least we can play Lurrus on an empty board. I was ducked didn't wear one of those big forced fingers, did they? No, they didn't. Which is lucky. Well, that's worst possible for us. At least the good thing is that if they ending the construct, they should not ending anything here. They should just minus on the construct and move on with their life. Because now they have Sabai Triumph, which means that they can ending the Lurrus. So yeah, that's just not a good play from my opponent. The Loam is gone, so you know Saga being in the bin doesn't really do anything. It just grows the Goif. That's a sick top deck, dude. Okay, so their card in hand, the last card in hand is Persist. And they're drawing Plains. So now we do this, replay this. That bubble top deck was sickness. Surgical Extraction. Yes, I would like to draw a Surgical Extraction. That's some pretty good. That's some pretty good insurance. So I think that should be GG's. I guess holding the bubble makes sense with the Kaya going on. I honestly wasn't expecting my opponent to plus the Kaya. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point. I think that we're good now. I guess they could have Damn. So maybe in case of Damn, I hold on to this Bob. Because Damn seems like the only way that my opponent can get back into this game. Boom. Alright, so. Interesting deck. I did not dislike it that much. But I do think that some things need to change. So we already cut both Grim Flayers. That card was horrendous the entire league. There wasn't a single spot where the card was even remotely close to playable. So we cut those. I think that we need to add some Blooming Marshes instead of the Bloodstained Mires, because this one finds Temple Garden. Honestly, it's possible I shouldn't even be playing this Temple Garden here. I don't think that we can really afford to play the Triumph, because that would be just way too many tap lands. Like the whole point is I want to have more cards that can cast either my Inquisitions or my Thoughtseizes on turn 1, because we're super short on those. So as is we have, there we go. So 14, 16 cards, 16 lands that cast Reclaimer on 1, and 15 lands that cast Thoughtseize / Inquisition, push, whatever, on turn 1. Which is still kind of cutting it short-ish. So second copy of Loam found its way here. Goyf was pretty good, so I think that the creature suite just for Reclaimer, for Goyf, for Bob is fine. Witherbloom Command was interesting. Like, it wasn't particularly great, but it had a couple of spots where I was kind of impressed by it. So I would certainly want to play with the card a little bit more. Maybe it wouldn't stay with 2 copies, but I think that it's still interesting. Bloodchief's Thirst was pretty bad. It wasn't really better than Fatal Push, really, ever. And in fact, it was worse in a couple of spots because my opponent knew that I had it. I think my opponent knew that I had it, and they were just dashing Monke instead of playing it out. So maybe this should just go, and this should just be the 4th Fatal Push. I could see having access to 1 more discard spell. These are all the cards to find with Saga, which have been fine. And we have room for 1 more card. Hex Drinker, I think it's interesting. I don't know if that is the card that we want, but it's probably interesting. Maybe it should be just like one of these Thoughties just finds its way into the main deck. Just like the one of fun of Thoughty Voidwalker instead of the unplayable Green Flare. Not that this card is insane. Like this card really shines when you have like Thoughtseizes and stuff, but so maybe I should go up on Thoughtseizes because of that. But at least this frees up a Cyber slot that I can use for something else. As far as the Cyber goes, it was a little bit all over the place. I wonder if we even need Torpor Orb. Like, I have not seen Elementals in a really long time, so maybe that should go. Maybe something for Murktide. What do you mean for Murktide? I mean, I know what you mean. Which card would you recommend for Murktide? Something like Ranafowl? Something shitty like that? Or where did Elementals go? I have no idea. Like, every time I played the deck, I was really impressed by it. So I don't know why people would stop playing it. Particularly people that were already playing it. I know that Canister has continued playing the deck. But I don't know. I'm honestly very confused about that. Because it kind of disappeared. Like, I felt like it was the literal best deck in the format, and then it just whoosh, disappeared. And I don't even know how nor why. So what do we want as our last card? I kind of want some like extra Tron hate or something like that. Go for the throat. So go for the throat. So this is just better than Doomblade, I guess. Yeah, I'm thinking over the multiple options, and we have Go for the Throat, we have Doomblade, we have Heartless Act, and we have like Power something, whatever, like the brand new one. But Power, whatever, doesn't kill Murktide, and Heartless Act also doesn't kill Murktide. So it's between, it has to be either Go for the Throat or the other card. It has to be Go for the Throat or I just said it. Doomblade. So I think that this is probably better. I don't think that we want Murderous God, no. Because this is a card that you could bring against Hammer and stuff. And like if you have Murderous God on turn 2 against Hammer and you need it in order to survive because your opponent is percenting lethal because they're on the play or whatever, and you don't have the cards necessary, you're just dead. You're just very, very dead. So maybe something like this. Again, maybe I'm respecting elementals a little bit too much here, because this, I guess that in this case, this could also work against like Amulet and decks like that, so maybe it's worth it. I don't know. But yeah, this deck was fun at least. I had a good time while playing it. It was a long league though, almost 3 hours. That's a lot. We played some sick matches, particularly the matches against Hammer were pretty solid. Hammer proved to be a good matchup, I think, even though I almost threw one of the games away. But it's pretty good. I had a good time playing this deck. I was also thinking, and this is something that I'm probably going to be trying out soon, is making like a jaunt version of this. Or is it? There we go. So making a jaunt version of this, actually quite similar to the jaunt Saga decks that have been popping up, but kind of switching Monke for Elvish Reclaimer, which I think is an interesting idea because it makes your Sagas much better. It also makes Ghost Quarter a lot better as well. My pet Nar, thank you for the follow. So this is another idea that I wanted to try out as well, which could be interesting. It's also possible that this is just better as a Monke, you know, which is just to try things out, just to have some fun. This is a cool idea. It's another approach to Elvish Reclaimer, just like playing Reclaimer at face value. A bit more than, you know, than playing it as an engine, you know, playing it as a value card as opposed to, you know, building your entire deck around the card. It's definitely an interesting approach. I'll definitely try this out again in the future. But that's gonna be this for now. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. Leave me a comment down below if you feel like doing it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.